Will you remember me? The contrasted moments that covers me. Will you have the ability to share the burden and be as open as thee? The inordinate and unfortunate of pleasantry shall recall such distaste as I have experienced for thee. Hello everyone, welcome back to Poetry Journal, and I want to say I'm sorry for the late post. It's just one of those weeks where you're trying to catch up with your schedule because you've been behind with so many things. So with this one, you should receive it quite late to that situation there, but not be alarmed. I am still present, and at this moment, just thought, let me give. Well, really, my idea behind today's episode, I just want to give everyone a treat in terms of like a lot of the things. What I mean by that is a lot of the things I put on there. Most likely, you're not going to see this, and if you do see it, it's going to be clips on like little bite size online, or you might see me. If you see me on stage by any chance, or you see like a video of me performing open mics and stuff like that, which I do now. It's gonna be, even then it's still bite size, and I'm not going to put those into words anywhere else. So in a sense, I guess what I'm saying is everything I put on here is a little bit exclusive because these are just things that I'm just creating, and for the most part, most of what I share, the content, will be majority of it. I'm planning for what's to come, kind of thing, and I just thought, you know what, with everything I'm giving here, and just in general, I'm sharing. And I want people to kind of like, especially people who support what I do, to just have like an insight, or more of like a, just like almost like a privilege to just supporting me, just knowing that if you enjoy what I do, then hey, this is a place where you can go, and there's certain things that you can find, you can listen to, you can enjoy, regardless of what the situation is. But of course, my primary thing is books. My primary things are books. But at the same time, sometimes you just want to give back. And so my thought today was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go over the top. And I thought, instead of going too tough into just going too tough into just like explaining, or unpacking my work, I thought, you know what, let me just do some reading. It's been a while since I've done one where I just read poems. But the first two, I think I'm gonna do about 4 of these. But the first two, it's gonna be off the top. So I'm still kind of getting the hang of it, where I just do my things, or just recite my stuff off the by memory, in a sense, and that's a skill in itself. So yeah, just bear with me. It's still growing. So here we go. I want to start with one of my favorites, as you know, is "Will You Remember Me?" And so that's one of the first poems. Even when I am performing, And like I said, it's new to me, so that's one of the first pieces I would perform on stage, because for one, it means a lot to me, and it's one of the few that I actually know by heart. So hey, I ain't got a choice, but I enjoy what I do, so it is what it is. Okay, so as I started, a little bite size of that poem itself. I'm sure people are familiar with it now. So yeah, let me recite that again. Will you remember me? The contrasting moments that covets me. Will you have the ability to share the burden and be as open as thee? The inordinate and unfortunate of pleasantry shall recall such distaste as I have experienced for thee. Will you follow the road of vision and adventure of our ultimate glee? Though the absence of stars and sparkles that follows our hearts through our divided journey, are we at liberty? Are we at liberty to be in contempt of our own resulting destiny, unworthy of the meeting and results of our induced just bear with me. Unworthy of our meeting and induced sanity, we shall be bereaved of our foundations that resulted in our demise deliberately. Compositions not joined or refined. Ultimately, life shows indications and reflections to let be, irrespective of our wants and needs, to be with thee with glee. Memories of pandemonium and emotions shall be revealed in time by destiny. Will you remember me? Will you remember me? Okay, slight mistake there, but hey, you know what? It's just off the top, and it's one of those times where I can make mistake because it's just like it's just me and you being the audience or my listeners, and hey, we could keep this between us, so don't worry about that. Okay, next one I want to do is a shorter one, which is called Painted Pain. Painted Pain. And you might have seen clips of this one as well, but here we go. And you know what, before I start, I forgot to mention, when it comes to Will You Remember Me, I think I mentioned before, of course, it's one of my favorites, but one of the reasons behind it's just the concept of it, I feel, is so powerful in terms of, like, you know what, where, it's just kind of like, it's one of those situations where, just that question alone, just in the sense of, what, the moment everything is happened, but that thought, just the idea of, like, I think that's so profound in terms of, like, just thinking, will you remember me? Will you remember what the situation was, what we had, etc., etc. It's just like the love, everything that it just encapsulates everything that is the passion behind, almost like a driving force, for love, and I think that everything that comes with that, like respect, loyalty, all that type of situation. And I guess maybe what I'm trying to say is, it's just a powerful thing and it's a force to be reckoned with because of those things. And so when you relate back to that, it just gives just that question so much foundation. Just thought I'd just throw that out there, quick rant. But back to what I was planning to do. Painted pain. No X-rays for saints. X amount of paint for the unforgiven moment. Bones wrapped in formidable amount of pain. In search of remedies. Wrapped in solitude as the bones creak. It covets me. Reminds me of the moments of madness. The placebo days. Trying to trick oneself. Hoping to relinquish redundant, passionate ways. Painted pain. All right, that's me. That's me done. Those are the two main ones that I it's not the only ones I know, but the two I know by heart where I could just recite, and I'm comfortable just going off the top of the head. But with painted pain as well, it's just like I would just say for this one, it's just things run deep, and I think it's just a great way to kind of express how deep or hard it is to endure, or how deep you have to dig to endure your situation, in a sense, because it almost it's in your whole being. And I just feel like, yeah, when I think about it, it just evokes so much emotion, or like it brings me back to that moment. It always brings me back when I think about what I write, or when I read, what I put on paper. Okay. The next one I wanted to share with you is Icy Veins. And this one I haven't, this is one of the first pieces I wrote for like a performance piece. And, it's just, I haven't done it in a while, but it still means, it's still a powerful piece. It still means a lot to me. So I thought, you know what? Let's go for it. Icy Veins. So sick and tired that you're sick and tired, till the calluses subside, although it was all a lie, for it persists to levels it cannot be denied. The slenderness of palm trees inside, a crooked vein as it rides and rides, distractions in the forms of monuments, magnitudinal as it sheds to levels one can't hide. Where goes my tired? I thought I put my naught inside. Thus my 100 can wash away like a tide. Internal sea or the illest trees, they bear memories of me, and one like thee. The lookalikes, they bear my color, they bear my symmetry, branches tainted by the bloody tears spilt from their eyes. We wilt as we ride, marginalize the marginalized, hoping one day they no longer express, just simply vent the pain from inside. Even though you're not worthy, you're worthy to me. You took it all away. I can barely mourn, for you took my pain away from me. By taking my ability to feel, no more voice, thus lacking the coldest utterance spree, feeling as though you took my mouth from me. No tongue or palate, like sensibility, striving for the day my taste returned to me. And that's the finish of it. And what's interesting about this one is it started as like, you know what, let me just widen my horizon, let me just experiment. And almost like, you know, you're still in the idea of like, could I critique could I be as versatile to critique my stuff, or just for like, just for nights like these, for like performance pieces, etc. And you know, after I create things like one of the first I created, which is like, you know, close to it, but it's almost like good enough. You know, you just try to always set a high standard for yourself, but it just kind of gave me the insight that I like it, and you know, you just wanted more, which led me to kind of creating, evolving from this to something even longer, which is the next piece I would like to read. And this is one of the first official pieces I felt like, you know what, this is an actual like performance piece. And this one is called Memories in Treachery. So without further ado, let me know what you think. Memories in Treachery. Pull up a seat. That's what my memories are telling me. You want something to eat? Maybe have some tea. Star ride, witnessing the memories inside. They look to me and smile. Partly speaking, pertaining just off the happy side. From various times, different plights. The onset of pandemonium, leading to heights. I could see myself feeling highs like a kite. I open up and smile like yesterday's feelings. It tugs then hide inside, for it was hard to feel it, though I knew it resides. I see a good thing from a time I know not, brain set revealing resistance, painful ulcers and blood clots, terrible times, temperatures like limes, rising in temperature, solid in callous times, urging myself to look beyond, forget what was or have gone. I admit it was no longer wrong, just plagues that runs like an unfiltered and saddened song. How could I initiate? For to cleanse mean I had to begin, headspin, witnessing certain moments of the past I felt not to imagine. Pretty please curtail my enthusiasm, let the moments not so sticky like cytoplasm. Let the antidote carry me away from this dead spin that holds insurmountable deeds of the untold. Such are the pessimistic flares they lack compare. They bite in spite, then momentarily disappears. Now for the period of happiness again. I sense my relief, jittery iron of teeth. Bitterly yet grateful for the second to escape. Let happiness come around in leaps and bounds, though for such characteristics I've been unrenowned. For recently they simply do not come around. Taking my time to mental recordings of my innuendos and ever many chimes calling for the malleable and ductile lines. Perhaps it could lead my cerebral to a pleasant moment, or on rewind. Call it the good times, call it the ever benign, the ever I'm fine, those sweet little elemental lines. Earth like levees and small mountains one could climb. The world so cold sometimes, carrying my blanket to caress every line. Perhaps the moments would escape the feelings of ice, the I spy, the negative and ill little lines, creating times of sweet little lies. I could imagine tears on the horizon, in need of precipitation, although not having an area of condensation, everything tangent and lacking the essence of facilitation, just the moments, periods of the unforgiven. For myself, I could never decree the necessary need to feel the love of thee until I feel the touch of thee. The crowning reveals such as the epiphany of thee, constantly feeling the need to figure forgiveness for me. Hypocrisy, contradictions, and internal crimes, treading careful while walking every little line, aching in the making. The onslaught is amazing, feeling sometimes I could envision my own demise, interrogating an incision, peeling away the masses in the endeavor to uncover curses, begging not to discover further terrors, or closets with remembrance or dangers, resemblance of crisis. Let the kraken and skeletons come to dawn at the forefront. There I can bear the brunt, deliver a hunt, a solvent of whatever may be their weakness, whatever is the truth to their spawn that lick my wounds and get back to a brighter dawn. And there we have Memories in Treachery. And I would love to hear some feedback from anyone who has something to say with this one, because there's so many facets to this piece, and I'm sure people would have things to say. So, of course, reach out and let me hear what you have to say. Let me hear your input. And of course, it's always different. Just doing on a podcast type of setting. Literally performing for yourself. It's not as intense, but at the same time, it gives you a chance, because sometimes when you're on stage, it's a different thing in terms of like the sound, and sometimes things don't come out as clear on the on the mic, and sometimes you might hear disturbance in the back, and certain shit like that in the background. So yeah, sometimes you do get distracted, but I hope it's quite clear the way I say it, and presentation's on point. But as always, another episode, and I don't take them for granted, and I enjoy everyone tuning in and hearing, listening to what I have to say. It's always a pleasure. But of course, and I've mentioned that I have my short story out, poetry journal out, and you can find links to it on previous episodes. Also, I will put links on this episode also. But I would love to see some more support from everyone. Just reach out and get the Into the Abyss Volume 3. I'm quite proud of this whole series of books. So yeah, you can get any one of them. It's been fun, yeah, and the Poetry Journal is yeah, I'm even more so proud of that. But they're all my babies, so I hope everyone reach out and support what I have going on. But again, tune in until next time. Thanks everyone.